That must be part raptor. It's talking to the raptors.
It's talking raptor.
Yeah, so bad.
And we see that.
And she's like doing like combat rolls in high heels under a Tyrannosaurus tail.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, is that how that works?
They're making their own dinosaurs. I'm like, oh my god, I paid money to see this.
Yeah.
This was a mistake.
Billionaire's like, I'll fly the helicopter. I'm like, yeah, okay. If I'm a billionaire, I have like my own my own crazy team that flies in on their helicopters and saves me from my island. I hit a button, the whole thing blows up.
And that movie ends,
Go to my
and they're
moon base.
like, well, I guess we lived. Let's walk away in the sunset together. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just kill an entire amusement park full of people due to your irresponsibility?
Yeah, that was
Anyways, sequel's going to come out eventually. In this game, we are going to see Stats, who I think was obviously a much higher caliber, much more calculated player, try to beat Cure here. He already did it once. It was, remember, it was Stats who lost to Myunchik in a PvP.
Yeah.
Cure may have been able to make some adjustments. And
yeah.
This is going to sound very weird, and I don't normally say stuff like this, but I do not think it helped Cure at all that he had to play Hero in that previous match.
Yeah.
That's not a good warm-up. Hero doesn't play at all like any of the modern Protosses.
Yeah.
Which does matter.
And he had to use some strategies and stuff. Like he wasn't just sandbagging. He had to use good stuff.
No, I mean, he had to use some
you
solid
play like
builds,
an idiot,
and
Hero will kill you.
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident for Stats here.
Yeah, I overall do agree with you. I do like the build Cure is used here with a very fast 3 command centers.
Yeah.
So he's got a very strong economy right now. So that's solid. But Stats has the exact opening that he wants to have, right? He's got the blink, and now he's taking the third base. I think it's time for pressure.
What's funny about because I'm sure we have people that are tuning in now that weren't here, a few hours ago when we started, but it was interesting because you would see these two guys fighting, and it would actually be very back and forth. Like one would get ahead and then overextend, and then the other guy would get ahead, and then he'd overextend. I don't know if it's going to be like that this time around. It seems like Stats should have a more solid approach, because Cure also had moments where he was like getting ahead and then getting behind again against Hero.
Yeah, if it looks like that other game, that's going to be hilarious. Like the first game on Dusk Towers, it was like overextend Armstrong or something. Stretch Armstrong?
It was overextend Armstrong.
Yeah, it's like one of them pulls the arm way too far, and then it snaps him in the face, and the other one pulls the arm way too far, and it snaps him in the face.
Well, we're actually going to see him push out right now. Look at this.
Yeah,
now,
this is
not intended to win the game, guys.
No.
This is like, he knows that he can occupy this. The Metamax aren't out just yet. There's no real comfortable angle for Terran to try to fight this. So you basically just take this for free.
Yeah.
And looks like that. Is that going to burn down? Look at this.
He might get it. This is just the pressure I was talking about before. He's making Immortals behind this, which is interesting. That's a little bit different.
I think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the more Immortals he has in this game, the better shape he's going to be in. Look at that. That is such a good escape. But good call by Cure. He scans. Knew the Observer was going to be there. How else were they seeing it up on the high ground?
Now, no doubt, if he does move out, that Prism will be flying in the back. Stat's going to continue to poke a little bit.
Guy.
Look at this. Is he going to get that reactor now?
Look at this jerk, man. He's going to come try to get that reactor.
Just continually poking and prodding in and adding those gateways before any forges. So he is not screwing around here. He's making sure he has enough units, and he is not going to die this first push.
He's actually just going to have a timing here. I'm sorry, Artosis. I don't know if I missed this. There's no third command center, or is there one in the main in between it? Okay.
Yes.
There's one in the main, but he hasn't landed it yet. And the 3 bases have been up for a while. I think Stats is just going to play it safe and wait until the Terran expands. And I think he can actually bust him.
You could definitely be right about that.
I think that's what he does.
He needs Glaives to finish to do it, I would say.
Yeah, sure.
But he does have those 2 Immortals, so I think you could be right that this is his plan here.
Yeah, I think it's actually this might be a build you guys want to copy.
Yeah.
It's very basic, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, this is like the difference here is he went Immortals and more gateways instead of the 1/1 upgrades that most Protoss get right then.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is very powerful what he's got, and Glaives are going to be done very shortly.
He already has an Observer ready.
The Widow Mines are the one thing that could screw things up a little bit, but look at that. He pre-shades. Oh, he showed the shades. But he pre-shades so that they can get in there a little bit quicker.
Okay, kind of an odd blink there. They're not under the Liberators, but does that matter? If he just wipes out the ground army, he's going to wait for the second blink cooldown, and there he goes. He's going to blink right under that. Now, does he
Ooh,
overextend,
is that going to work, though? Yeah, it looks like
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, that's what he was trying to do anyways, but also Glaves didn't finish, which is a bit odd considering how much...
Oh, that's what we call an anti-timing right there. Well, the thing is, I think he wanted to hit before that was any more set up, but Glaves is pretty important. Last time I checked, it makes the Adept's attack a lot faster. Am I right?
I think you're right, Artosis.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of like some cute micro.
All right, Stats is going to lose this game. That's it. GG. Yep. Well, the build was cool, but yeah, I mean, you got a lot of things you can do in a moment like that where you can actually maybe try to send the Warp Prism in and warp some stuff in and get turned out of position. Yeah. I know why he wanted to get in there and do the damage quickly. Also, the Stalkers blinked to the right and not up.
Also, he started Glaves really late. Like, he either forgot it or tried to get it and didn't have enough gas or something, but you're supposed to start that right after Blink. Like, he had the money, he just didn't do it. So, definitely some mistakes there from Stats, and now he's down 0-1. Kier just has to take one more, and he goes on to round 16, and suddenly Stats is out.
Stats win our special show match where we had all the champions come in together and duke it out.
Dude,
he won, but
he doesn't necessarily go to BlizzCon yet. It's not 100%. Right. So he needs to do something else, I would say.
Okay, well, we're going to go into game number 2. This is Kier versus Stats. Kier is up. We've had some upsets. We always do in GSL Code S, but it's very possible Kier just practiced the hell out of his Terran versus Protoss. Yeah. It is going to take out a Goliath Stats. It'd be pretty crazy. Yeah. Guys, tell your friends to join us here. We're almost done today, but first we have to declare a victor to see who goes on to Code S round of 16. In the bottom left, in the blue, our Terran player, he is
Jin Air Green Wings, Cure.
In the upper left, in the red, he is
JT Rolster, Stats.
This is a bit of a scary day here for Stats. Stats was really supposed to easily get out of this.
Especially after the 2-0 against Kier.
He's currently regarded by everybody as a fantastic player. Like everybody says this guy's good. This guy was somebody who could have won this entire season. Now he lost in an upset to Myunchik, but frankly, I thought Myunchik did play better.
He did, yeah, definitely.
I was a little bit sad when Myunchik says he's getting hate from his, some of the people that think he cheeses too much. I'm like,
well, this is what hardcore StarCraft fans generally are. They're like, oh, you cheese too much. You're not a macro player. Why are you
going to play macro every game like me so you can't get a high rank? But, you've got to look at it and say, well, you got to do what, the tools that the game gives you, that your respective race gives you, you got to take and use to your advantage, This is chess with a fog of war on it. You can surprise people, you can trick them, you can fake them out. You don't get to see the whole board.
No.
And you got to take that to your advantage, man. StarCraft is not just a game about, macroing and knowing economics. It's about lying, too.
It's about a lot of things.
It's about a lot of
stuff. It's about who you are as an individual. It's about your worth as a human sometimes. At least it feels that way.
Well, I'll tell you something. Nothing feels worse when you lose a bunch of games in a row. But I got to say, Stats really did get beat, frankly, pretty fair and square by Myunchik. Those games looked really good. Myunchik really was out-thinking him and out-maneuvering him.
Yeah.
And a lot of that did seem to be from Myunchik's instinct. And now he's back here. Kier has played a lot of PDTs here. He's definitely got to kind of adapt to the style that Stats has here. And right now, if Stats makes any more mistakes that are too costly, he's out of the GSL Code S and only got into the round of 32.
Yeah, that would be pretty rough for him. Now, of course, he is in SSL, so and there'll be other things to win points on through the year, and he's leading in points, I believe, for people not already qualified for BlizzCon. Yeah, he is, after winning Cross Finals. So, he's most likely going to hit BlizzCon no matter what happens here, but obviously wants to be able to pick up a victory here and go on to that next round. Is going for a Stargate here, which is kind of cool.
I don't think it's too bad to do in these spots. You get the Oracle out here. This is a map where there's not a lot of locations that Terran can actually attack up towards you at. So it makes it easy to spot with the Oracle and try to tag the army.
That's true.
It's also it's very obvious where you'd want to drop. You don't want to be dropping. Well, if you do drop on the left side, I think Protoss is probably going to see it.
Yeah.
But if you try to go around the right, there's watchtowers Protoss can have control of and deny you that way. So, I think it's a map that I think a lot of Protoss probably feel a little bit safer on. Terran can't push as easily across the map.
Yeah, it can get a little bit messy, when you start hitting like 4 bases and stuff, and they're like trying to drop on your high ground, and 2 of the mineral patches are at the back. But overall, like these early attacks you can really see them coming, especially if there's something like an Oracle here, and he's going to be able to get a very strong scout off here, seeing that this is actually rather fast stim. And it's just this type of build that we see a lot from Terrans in all sorts of matchups. The quick 2 medevacs, the quick stim as well with that.
All right, well, we have Stim coming along right now for Terran. More Gates and Robos coming along here for Stats. I don't think anybody's going to have any major attacks coming up here. Cure is pinned right now with the Oracle orbiting outside of his base. And Stats really doesn't have anything else on the ground he can go for an attack here with. So he's just going to get his 3rd base up. Terran should follow suit shortly after. And I think in a little while we'll start picking up with, oh, that's cool. What do you think about that Void Ray?
I think it's really smart.
That's interesting.
He scouted that this is like quick medevac harassment. So if you have a Void Ray floating over like the open air, that's an area the medevacs don't want to go through. You charge up that Void Ray, it's going to kill a medevac super fast.
It makes it totally off limits for you to go on that part of the map.
Yeah. It's quite a smart move, and he's even set up like, I really like how Stats has played this. I think this is quite brilliant play. Like, he's got pylons on top of the little ramp. Look at that, see? He's really sewn up tight here. This is hard to attack into.
Let's see if Cure overextends.
Going around right now, he does have stim, so like his army wins, but of course if you're sitting around pylons, that all can change.
Okay, I think he probably is going to go in for it. And he shaves off a Marine there. Still not too much. Now Blink is only just now starting. There's not a lot that Protoss can do to pursue. Terran will basically always get away as long as they have health to stim on the Marines.
Yeah, he's not expecting to be able to kill him unless he does overextend like you were talking about, and that's where something like the Void Ray is really going to kill him. But Stats right now, just getting into Blink and his upgrades going, trying to mine on his 3
should not
bases.
be doing this. This is really foolish. He knows there's an Oracle on the map.
That is true.
You can never do this.
You're trying to find some way in, but Stats is everywhere.
Now, if the Oracle doesn't go check over there, and that Oracle, by the way, guys, was set down there to check for that base, but he's not moving it over.
Yeah.
But if he sees that, he can kill the SCV, and that delays that expansion by a lot. And keep in mind that Protoss is already ahead in expansions.
Yeah, that would be really annoying. Like, he'd have to send a bunch of Marines down there and another SCV.
Now,
look at
that's
that.
why if there's Oracles on the map, you do not make that base there.
Yeah.
You make it in your main and float it over there.
Oh, and he turns it on. Look at that. Oh, he doesn't actually keep the targeting going, but definitely has damage in that.
He's going to lose that Void right now. Oh my God, he actually gets one of the medevacs. But 11 probes are already killed.
Ooh, that was a sick Widow Mine right there. He didn't see it behind.
Yeah, it was behind the assimilator.
Wow.
I don't know if that was
really
intentional or not, but that's what happened. And he didn't pull away in time, so he lost so many workers there. Meanwhile, he's actually coming forward, kind of haphazard attacking. That does damage to the medevac and then goes for the Marines. Gateway Explosion is finishing. Now, can Protoss take out these 2 medevacs?
You should be able to clean up it. Oh my God,
no.
the Widow Mine.
3 more probes bite the dust. That puts it down 21 dead probes.
Wow. That is like, just a ridiculous amount of probes right now. His probe count is still okay, though. Like, when you start hitting in the 30s right now, you're near dead, but he's almost got 50 probes still left over. He can still make a game of this.
Yeah, he can still recoup. But I got to tell you, man, that Widow Mine is still not there. I don't know if Stats is kind of falling apart here.
Well, it's behind it, right? It's like so hard to actually see.
Yeah, but this is not new, right?
No,
it's not. This is like people. This is what people do now. Now, is he intentionally not letting that detonate until he transfers workers back?
I think this is an auto target that's screwing it up.
Yeah.
Because they're going into the thing so quick, but.
Oh my God, it's going to get probes again too.
2
it gets
probes
a
and a stalker. Wow.
We just saw Stats breathe a big sigh of relief. I mean, his base is still in shambles.
Yeah, this is.
He's still. The moment that an attack is done, you immediately want to have your workers there. I mean, every 5-10 seconds that goes by that you're not just mining optimally from is a little bit stressful. So.
That one Widow Mine may have Kier go into the round of 16. Like, I'm looking at this Tasteless. His army, Stats' army, is so badly hurt that one Widowmine ended up killing like 15 probes or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you recoup from here? This is really tough. He's trying to go into double forge. He's going to play a very defensive game, but Cure obviously has a big advantage.
It does seem like he was trying to focus with that Void Ray when the medevac came in and trying to get that medevac, but he didn't actually keep his eyes peeled on when that burrow happened.
Yeah. He might have just missed the
Okay, here we
overall,
go.
But, oh boy, with these setups, this is going to be very tough. Widowmine's being dropped out here as well.
Yeah, he can actually push on the edge of this ledge right now. And if his opponent tries to come in too far, then the Liberators are going to do a lot of damage.
Uses that Photon Overcharge. A lot of damage happening, though, and he's attacking up into the front at the same time.
Now, he kept a lot of those medevacs and backed out. Cure is really pressing stats. This might not be the safest thing to do, but it might still win him the game.
Yeah, he's trying to like force a victory right now.
Yeah, he's trying to just because he sees that his opponent is like a little bit gimped economically.
Yeah.
And that his opponent is a little bit spread thin in trying to defend. So what he's doing is he's just hitting these different areas and hoping that he's going to trade effectively. But you got to be careful. If you overextend here, you do lose the game yourself. Okay, he's coming in and attacking again. Nice force fields.
And he's got to slow him down a little bit. Those Widow Mines with the Liberators just ridiculously hard to deal with.
These
He does
Widow
not
Mines
have
can
enough
start
right now.
to creep in here.
Oh man, Widow Mine's starting to get hit. Not enough Stalkers to really clean anything up.
I think he just broke him.
Yeah, I think
Look
you're
at
right
this.
about that, Tasteless.
There's not enough. He can even get that pylon and stop the warping. No, he's going to let the warping happen so he can kill everything that he has, and that's going to be it. GG! What a night. Cure takes out Stats.
Wow. Super well done. Well deserved for Cure. He really stomps in that game.
I'll tell you, man, Cure played a lot better than Stats did in that last series.
He did. Stats, I felt like he opened that game so beautifully. It was like a lot of great moves right in a row. And then that Widow Mine threw everything on its head, and that was just so hard for him to recover from.
Well, I mean, that's a way that people lose sometimes, man. Take a Widow Mine or something like that, and you just are not on top of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're seeing more Widow Mines get dropped in these big-ass drops in the mid-game as well. Sometimes it's just Marines.
Totally.
But because people don't lose as much to Widow Mine drops at the start of the game anymore because they're just ready for him. I don't think he was looking, and I think he might have even been warping stuff in and trying to bring his army back. I think he just missed. His screen was off, but 2 or 3 times the Widow Mine hit, and by then it's like you eventually realize, oh my God, all my probes are gone. Anyways, we're going to go on to an interview with Cure and see what his thoughts are.
선수가 1경기와는 다른 결과를 만들어냈습니다. 자, 두 번째 16강 진출자 김도욱 선수입니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
Our second player to advance is Cure. Congratulations. He says thank you.
먼저 진출 소감부터 들어볼게요.
오늘
How do you feel?
3코스 돌아서 좀 많이 힘들
Well,
거라고
there was 3 Protoss in my group. I thought it was going to be a tough road for me.
생각하고 패자전 가도 좀 덤덤했어요. 근데 좀 마지막까지
I actually thought I was going to go to the losers match to start it off, but no matter what, I knew I just had to give my very best until the very last set, and I was actually able, surprisingly, to create good results for myself.
인터뷰와 다르네요. 인터뷰에서는 선 프로토스 자신 있는 것처럼 보였거든요. 저도 좀 의아했는데 그건 뭐죠?
그거는 제가 너무 안
But during the interview, you seemed pretty confident against those 3 Protoss players.
그래도 올라갔으니까 정말 다행인 것 같아요.
그쵸. 사실 저그전
She says, well, I lied in the interview. I was actually very scared of the Protoss players. I didn't want them to know that.
저거가 없어가지고
I just wanted to seem confident,
만나는 거
basically.
솔직히 욕심인 것 같아요, 지금은. 그래서 이제 진짜 실력 싸움으로
I want to play against Zerg players, but there aren't as many left here in GSL.
네. 자, 오늘 경기 이야기
So I'm going to have to battle it out against Protoss and Terran players to get further into the tournament.
패자전에 노교경과는 이제 다른 출발을 하셨어요. 그때부터 계속 머릿속에서 생각을 하셨나 봐요.
제가
You played with a different style in the final set than you did in the loser set.
좀 안전하면서도 좀 안 좋더라고. 안전한데 안 좋더라고요. 그래가지고 그 빌드는 배업이 형한테 안 쓸 거라고 생각하고 그 빌드만 패자전에
Yeah, I played a safer match in the losers match,
좋은 결과 나온 것 같아요.
but
네. 자,
I didn't know if it was going to work against Stats.
확실히
So I actually tried to mix it up a little bit more and have some more aggression thrown in.
그래도 김도욱 선수 이번 시즌 잘 준비하고 계시는 것 같네요. 이번 시즌 목표 어떻게 잡으셨어요?
So what is your goal for this season?
저번에 아무래도 저번에 4강에서 졌으니까 이번엔 결승 가보고 싶은 게 당연한 것
I
같아요.
lost the semifinals in the first season.
이번 시즌에는
Obviously, my goal is to do better to get further and advance into the finals this season.
팬들한테 실망시키지 않고 항상 잘했으면 좋겠어요.
Also, I don't feel like I played very well in the semifinals. So, assuming I get to the semifinals, I want to have even better performance there and show better
좀
games.
적극적으로 좀 더 하셨으면 좋겠어요. 저번에도 모든 걸 다 받아들이셨잖아요. 이번에는
네. 아 근데
Last time you were quite quiet in the group selections. What can we expect to see this time around?
안전으로 들어가더라고요. 그래가지고
네.
Yeah, last time I stayed quiet, so I got picked in the later half of the group
어필한다고
selections,
지금 약속하셨어요.
and that didn't really work out well
네,
for me.
이번 시즌만큼은
So I might as well get picked early on,
선수를 기대해봐도 좋을 것
and I might as
같은데요.
well just try to choose a player for
지난
myself.
시즌 4강을 넘어서 이번에는 결승까지도 노립니다. 김동 선수 팬들에게 마지막으로 한마디 부탁드릴게요.
Any final comments to your fans?
지금 스타리그도 올라가고 여기 GSL도 이제 16강 올라가는데
I've advanced to the Star League, and I've also advanced to the round of 16 in the GSL.
이제 앞으로 좋은
So I have a lot of opportunity to play well in tournaments.
좋은 경기 할 수 있도록 연습 열심히 해서
So for those of you guys that watch my games, I'll try to do well in both tournaments,
알겠습니다.
and I'll try to make
다시
great
한번
matches for you guys when you
축하드립니다.
watch.
감사합니다.
And that does it.
자, 32강
Artosis, interesting day. I don't know if there's as much to say at the end of today.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Very
I think it was like,
straightforward.
yeah, you're right. It was quite straightforward.
I guess
well
the big story
played.
is Stats got knocked out.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of players really outplayed each other in every single set. Like every set was like one player's like better
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, it was actually all 2-0s.
Yeah, very
All the
very
way
fast
down.
night.
Normally we have a lot of 2-1s, and I didn't feel like it was I don't think it was like that this time around, which is actually fine. A lot of times if you want to see a good style of play and where to drop and how to tech up, these are the games you can see, you know.
Yeah. But there you have it, guys. Myung-Sik and Cure go through. Stats is out. It's kind of crazy, but he'll still be in Pro League and SSL, of course.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here tonight in this day 2 of the GSL Codes. We are going to be back. When are we back, Artosis?
Actually, we will not be here on Wednesday.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
So
we're going to be at
Wolf
the
and Brendan, I
StarCraft
guess.
Summit Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
we'll be back after that on
we'll
Friday
be back
next
after that
week.
on Friday. But we'll have our usual casters in for you guys to
Yeah.
keep GSL covered.
And the group we will not be able to do, Losira, Byun, Seed, and Classic. Quite a nice group, actually. It's going to be fun to see the shape Losira's in right now with that new patch. And then we'll be back for Group D. Will Tasia be able to do better than his ex-former teammate Hero did tonight?
Yeah, let's see, man. Because right now some of those guys are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Guys, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Artosis, great job as always. Love casting with you guys. Thank you for joining us. So tune in Wednesday, and we will be back with more GSL Codes. Good night.
Live your life, get yourselves together.